following day, other meetings which have been arranged. And honestly speaking, in our trepidation, we didn't know what exactly we could do. So immediately I finished my presentation, within an hour, the speaker asked me to immediately look for the next available flight and quickly come to Ghana. The majority leader had left a day earlier for another conference. He was with us. So speaker was really in a difficulty, and helpless. So I had to rush down to join the members of the leadership back home to come around to commiserate with the family. And you all recalled that we were here with the other members of the leadership available here. And then we visited the other bereaved families. Speaker has been restless since then until his arrival. And we all noticed that straight away from the airport, he moved straight away to the presidency. And then from there to other places. So he decided that at all costs, we needed to come over to do the proper thing. It wasn't possible on Sunday because that was a day that we held, And so today, Mr. Speaker deemed it appropriate, together with members of the leadership. And let me also put on record here that the Honorable Minority Leader has been with us throughout. Speaker had to open a conference this morning, an international conference, and they were all waiting. From there, Minority Leader was there, had emergencies, but he had to try to exercise some restraints until he got over that. And so this afternoon, the Speaker, again together with members of the leadership, are here. We are all aware of the fact that the notice of this tragedy needed not to be announced on the media. It was all over the place. And so I believe you know why we are here. But he's here leading Parliament officially to come over to greet the bereaved family and to commiserate with us. That is the purpose of Right Honourable Speaker's visit this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Knowing the Speaker and where he's coming from, this visit is intended. What you say is the Ansuma. Speaker. Ansuma. Normally, where we are coming from in the Upper West region and the North, when these things happen, the next morning it is traditional for well-wishers, family, relations, and everybody to come around. And I know Speaker is somebody who upholds tradition very much. I can say the same thing for Antipart. I know what these things mean to them. So I will say we are most grateful for this show of solidarity. In moments and periods like this, it is the quality of support that the family gets from people far and near that keeps them standing. And yesterday, as we all know, we had to, as Muslims, to return them to where they actually originally came from. And we are all in transition. We shall go when the time comes. Sometimes it is difficult to accept the reality that it happened, but indeed it happened. And this is not going to be the last time. It will continue happening, except that we pray that such tragedies shouldn't occur again. Because each one and every one of us travels per modern technology. Either you are on a car or on a motorbike. You are prone and you are susceptible to any malfunction or any human error. I pray that this tragedy has awakened the conscience of the country, and we shall resolve to right whatever wrongs that have happened. I wish to stop here, and maybe if I know the speaker has personal knowledge of Alhaji Muniru. At a point in time when he was in the civil service, he worked directly with the speaker when at a point he was the Minister of Health. I know it will not be out of place to ask him to share a few thoughts, even though I know he might not want to talk. But then he was my senior in Secondary, and I can take liberty to ask senior to share a few comments with us.
Assalamu alaikum. Let me first and foremost indicate that this is a parliamentary delegation made up of staff of parliament led by the clerk, Mr. Jetro, who spoke earlier, and the deputy whip of the majority side, Honorable Comfort Doyo, and then the chief whip of the majority side, Honorable Roxon, who is here with us. Then we have the deputy minority leader, who is here representing the minority leader, Honorable Patricia Ajay. Then Patricia Ajay. Don't worry, Mr. Speaker. Last night she didn't treat me well, so she and I will have our quarrels. And then, of course, myself, Mahama Ayariga, and of course, the leader of our delegation, I'm sure we all know, the Right Honorable Speaker, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. The long and short of what the clerk tried to say is that at the time of the occurrence of the accident through which we lost our brothers, we're all out of the country. Myself, the speaker, the clerk, the chief whip, and some other senior colleagues in parliament were all in Boston attending the National Conference of State Legislature. And so we were not in the country. And when we heard it, we took various steps to return in time to meet the burial ceremony, which occurred yesterday. So we're all there at the burial ceremony and decided that this morning we will come in person to the residence of the deceased to personally commiserate with the family. And that is what has brought us here. We should have been here immediately after, but because of our absence in the country, that's why Speaker is coming today. And I'm joining Speaker to come today, and then the Chief Whip is joining Speaker to come today. I have known Alhaji Muniru for a very long time, since his days at Ministry of Health. But I got to work more closely with him when he became the Upper East Regional Minister. And I was then also a colleague in government as a minister in the government of John Dramani Mahama. And those days, as Member of Parliament for Boku and also a colleague minister, he worked very closely with me. And I would say that this is a person that you can never find a fault with when you are working with him in terms of process, procedure, protocols. He would know how to relate to everybody that he works with. And I know that he became very close to His Excellency the President. And during our years in opposition, he continued faithfully and loyally to work with us in the party, to work to return the party back to power. And indeed, his effort and the effort of all of us bore fruits, and our party came back to power. And again, during that period of setting up government, he has been very, very instrumental, being close to His Excellency the President, providing very wise counsel, and running all sorts of errands, both for party and for the President as a person, and for government. And so it came to us as a shock and very devastating to learn about the loss of our brother in this tragic accident. And so the Speaker and I and my colleagues and the clerk, whilst we were away, instructed the parliamentary leadership to assemble the members of parliament to come and on our behalf visit the family, express our condolences as we took steps to come. So I believe that the parliamentary delegation came much, much earlier. Indeed, the day after, I think, the incident, I instructed them to assemble and come here to represent us. But since we are in town, the Speaker definitely, as tradition demands, will be here in person and to express our support to the family. I'm even closer to Alhaji in other respects. His wife is also my auntie and sister. Everybody knows how close I am to Alas and Libby. And so for us, it's double loss. My very good friend, my former comrade and colleague, and also the husband of a sister. So we suffer significantly from this loss. And it's not just him that we've lost our colleague, member of parliament. We've lost a colleague who I have served in government with, the Minister for Defense, Dr. Omani, and of course the other persons, Murtala, and then the Air Force officers, and our NADMO official, former parliamentary candidate, and all those that we have lost in this tragic accident. All we can say as a parliament is that for us, and I believe for everybody living, we all know that this day will come. We all know that this day will come. When it will come, we don't know. How it will come, we don't know. But these moments, serve as a lesson to us as we live, to define how we want to be remembered. And I can say, and I can testify, that these brothers of ours that we have lost are people that everybody who has testified will give a very, very good testimonial of. And for me, the loss is painful, but we should live with the memory that they lived a very great life. They defined the path that we all admire, and we will continue to have memories of these wonderful persons, and we want to assure their families that we pledge to remain family members and replace, even though it is not possible to replace, but we will do our best as surviving family members to provide them the care and support that we can afford. And we in Parliament will do what we can to remember them. A lot of discussions are ongoing on radio and etc. I just want to assure Ghanaians that in moments like this, let us be united as a country. It's a painful tragedy, but let us remain united as a family, as a nation, so that we can support the family of the deceased. This is when they need us most, and so we should be available for them. I thank you very much, and Speaker is so devastated, but we will compel him to say one or two words. Like you said, he was very close to all of them. Dr. Murtala, Alhaji, Omani, all people that the Speaker has worked very closely with. And so we can all understand how devastated we are. But Mr. Speaker, people want to hear something from you.
Atakbir!
She should say something on behalf of
Right Honorable Speaker, the majority leader in Parliament, the leaders in Parliament, the Clerk of Parliament, honorable colleagues, on behalf of the Minority Caucus, once again, we want to extend our condolences to this family. We have already paid a visit, but after the remains has been properly preserved, it is only right that we come and commiserate with you again. And I don't think I'm going to be extensive in whatever I want to say, because we've already shared, and many of you were here when we came along. So I'm giving the opportunity to the Right Honorable Speaker to, we indicated earlier that he was not available, and once we found the truth, he's here to also give us